Hey, what's up?
Just waiting and trying not to be nervous.
Nah, you're good, you're good, you're good. Don't worry, I'll be your personal hype man. My name's Jollz, I'm a Radiant player. If you're enjoying this type of content, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. If you're interested in coaching yourself or want a chance to win free coaching, be sure to watch the end of the video for details. Other than that, enjoy the video. Okay. Diamond. Nice job, nice job. Diamond 2. Closing in on Ascendant. For the most part, you're pulling numbers. Looking through your match history, you know, like the Pearl game, like you played KO, 16 and 15, even though you lost 13-7, right? These are fine. KD's good.
I've been locking Yoru this sec because for some reason, starting that at Plat, I shot up to Diamond.
Yeah, he's in a really good spot. I actually think yours is very good. So yeah, I don't fault you for that at all. No sense in changing something that ain't broken. So 143 damage per rounds. So it depends because we've been playing a bunch of different agents, but this is about decent, right? With Omen, anything above like 140 is good. And then once you start to play, you know, duelists and stuff, 146 still pretty good. Pretty good. This is not bad. KD ratio is good, above 1. Headshot percentage is a little low. I would recommend above 20 is good. So that could be something. Win percentage is solid, 55%. If you just keep playing, you're gonna hit Ascended surely. Okay, love the insta-lock, good. I think Yoru is in a really good spot. I think he's like a top 3 duelist maybe. Nice. Very nice. Like that. We go for a kill. We TP out. Reposition. Good. I actually like the Frenzy buy too. Frenzy is busted. Okay, first kill I really liked, right? We got the first kill and TP'd out. Love that, right? Very good. Okay, rotation. Oh, careful mid there. So we had to be a little bit careful there for mid rotation when we were running through there, but I don't mind this. Yep. So we can decoy out. Okay, so one thing I would have done here, I would have thrown the TP back towards C as we rotate to A, especially when they're not out, right? Just so we have like a little backup plan. Okay, well, this works too.
That's okay.
It was a good try. I feel like our crosshair wasn't really ready for that fight right away. So like before peeking, just that intent that like, okay, as soon as we peek, we're gonna look for that fight. Yeah, that peak was a lot better. I like that.
They'd all be.
Very nice dodge. So it's just, I think we're playing a lot of obvious angles too. Okay, the dodge there with the sky flash and then the peek into the fade, good. It was good. However, the only problem is like once we started funneling to site with our teammates, nobody was picking up like, you know, garage or C or anything like that. It's one of those things that just like mindfully like, oh, what's my teammate watching after things start to die down, right? Like after the initial push and they're not pushing anymore, now it's like, I look at my minimap, right? All right, well, we have our ult this round, so hopefully we can get some value out of that.
Usually I'd push down, see if we can find them early.
Yeah, that's fun.
Cypher C.
You could probably flash. Just flash him and come out and kill him. Yep. There we go. That's what we needed. Let's go. He's the only one there. We punish him, man. We punish him. As soon as we saw that Cypher was alone, we pop flash. We come out from our ult with our clone flashes, right? We just punish them for this. And this elo is where they just shoot everything. So we want to just abuse that as much as possible. So we want to aim it off the ground instead.
Mid.
Okay, it was a good try. It was a good try. Yeah, so utility usage and overcommitment, right? That's like the big thing that we're struggling with here. Good decoy. Yep. Oh, nice try. Okay. Starting to turn up a little bit. Oh no, there's no way they lose this. Oh, there's no way.
Oh, no.
Oh, they found a way.
I can ult us onto a site. Where do we want to go?
Good comms. I like this. I can ult us onto a site because you know you want them you want to ult, and now they're trying to decide where they want to go. But the idea is to get them to group up. So saying stuff like that, it just gets them to group up without them even thinking about it. Psychological trick. I do this a lot. I have my ult. Should we go A or B, right? Now they're in their mind. They're like, okay, we have to group up. Are we going to go A or B?
Nothing.
And you give them the decision to pick either A or B, but ideally it's your decision to get them to group. Nice TP. Yep. Okay, okay. Joel's, how do I deal with consistently terrible teammates in bronze silver? If you have bad teammates consistently, you have to also understand that they can consistently be on the enemy team, right? The chances of the shit teammates always being on your team is less likely than them being on the enemy team. You have to think about it. If you are not shit, then you have 4 chances of having shit teammates on your team, right? Because you're not shit, and there's 5 on the enemy team.
Yeah, and they'll learn to combine his raise.
Statistically, higher chance shit teammates on enemy team. It's actually very hard to play like that. I think we might have been able to hold a little bit more of a passive angle. I think a big thing that we're doing is like we're holding very common angles, right? It's very easy to get punished this way. So maybe a little bit more passive, or we peek into that angle, right? But just never like standing there holding it. I think that's usually a big mistake, yeah. But I mean, we're good. 8-11. We're coming back. We're coming back.
I'll handle this. Cutting through.
1 garage. 3 here, 3 here. 4 here in garage. Leave, leave, leave. They're all here, Kevin.
We're gonna get it before the act ends. Nice.
Backside.
Very good call to fall back though. With the primer, appreciate 3 months.
Just along for the ride at this point.
No. You had a very impactful round there, right? We ulted through C, we got the info, and then you told your team to fall back. That was huge. That actually won us the round, not the kills. So. See, like this. Nice TP. You have the flash, yeah. Very nice. Good flash. Good flash. I like that flash a lot more. Yep. Crosshair placement, right? Look where crosshair placement is when we're going fast. You could fall. Yeah. Yeah. If you kill this Omen, nice. Fade might be close. Yep. Nice. That should be C. Yeah, you can reload and go garage maybe. We go for a kill here and then TP. Nice! Let's go! Okay! Okay, what a play. That was sick. That was sick. And we have our ults. Okay. And you said you were nervous. Okay. Okay. Nice little ace. Good stuff. Seriously.
I can feel my heart in my throat, so... Yep.
No, you're good. That was sick. That was sick. Okay, so this round, yeah, we can... Let's ult for info. Let's just ult down short. Yeah, yeah. I want to make sure that we're still focusing on the next round. You know, a little time to pop off, but just always focusing on next round, next round, next round. Evan.
Oh, shit. I have spike. I didn't even realize. Planting.
Yeah, you can flash through here. Or decoy through here. Or both. Flash? Yeah. Yep. Good round.
Good stuff. Left.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine. The round is won after you kill that Cypher, right? Everything after that, who cares, right? It doesn't matter. This comeback is actually disgusting. I think we just Sky ult us in. You flash TP backside.
Flashing.
It's alright. The ult's gonna clean them. Yep. I love the play though. Remember, just because it doesn't work out does not mean it wasn't the right play. Oh.
One enemy remaining. Last player standing.
Oh, he just runs A. I would have. No. Okay.
Good shit, Brim.
Okay. Jeez. Damn, what a comeback. What a comeback. That was solid. Honestly, I think you played very well. You are definitely not boosted. That's for sure. And that ace, that ace won you guys the game. That set the tone for the game, right? Like, all right. So a couple things that I'm noticing is... One, our commitments. Sometimes we're committing a little bit to too many gunfights, especially if our crosshair isn't on them. So obvious angles that we're holding, right? Like, you know, I'm not going to go over every single angle, but just angles that, you know, where they're going to be coming around the corner looking at you. We should avoid just sitting here and then just holding this. This is like a free, like, if I'm spawn, I'm hoping that they're holding this angle because this is like a free way to just 50-50 a gunfight. Now, if they were playing a bit more passive, that's when it gets annoying because I have to push in and I have to clear so many angles You know what I mean? Like, it's very hard for me, and it's very easy for them to just, you know, get a free kill and then you TP out or something like that. Now, with flashes, right? So I've noticed some of your flashes, you'd flash like this or something. So with flashes, first, tell them that you're going to flash your teammates. So be like, I'm going to flash and then we go, or something like that. Or just say that you're flashing before you even flash. Who cares if you blind them, as long as you get what you're accomplishing. So if the smoke is like this, you almost always want to bounce it in the smoke. Almost always. Because when you bounce it up here or whatever, or like even back here sometimes, this one's good if you're planning on, you know, TPing backside, which is fine. But for the most part, your smoke, sometimes you've been bouncing it, like you're giving them a little bit too much time to react. If this was the edge of the smoke, you bounced it here, and you see like the time that it travels outside of it is a bit too much. So how to fix that, you bounce it like this, and it pops right as it comes out of the smoke, if that makes sense. A little bit shallower with your flashes, so it literally just is a pop flash, and they can't turn from that. So that's one thing. Also, I heard someone, like, if you look directly down into the smoke and you flashed, let me see how accurate.
I've seen Ixter do it a couple times.
Oh, and it goes like right above the smoke. Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, you could do that, but this one works too, right? Like just bouncing it a bit more shallow and then it pops out. So you could do that, or if it's a smoke where they could be multiple angles. So when is this flash bad compared to the one that you pop right like this? If the smoke is like out, like it protrudes out of the choke, and they could be here, they could be here, and they could be here. And if you flash like this, it might not get them. So that's when something like this might work. Yeah, if Exter's doing it, then do what he's doing, because Exter is very good at the game. So yeah, and the TP backside, this is very good. I love this. Sometimes it didn't work, but that doesn't mean it's not the right play. So what we do, you know, we would throw our TP, you know, you flash, and then as it pops, right, like, you know, you TP. And then we go for this. So the most crucial part about this on that one round was, one, we had a sky ult that put pressure on them. While they were sky ulted, that's when we decided to go with this play. That adds more pressure for your teammates to come out of the smoke for free. It's very big that we took space this way, even though we didn't get a kill. So not always is kills, you know, dependent on how well we do in a round. And you were just like, remember this one round where you ulted and you told your entire team there's 4 here, let's fall off and go A?
4 here in garage. Leave.
And you're like, oh, I'm just sitting back in the passenger seat, right? No, but actually, you had a lot of impact that round. By telling your teammates to fall off and rotate back to A with your ult information, won you guys the rounds. The value that you bring isn't necessarily correlating to your kills. It's just something that I just wanted to point out. Okay, here was another one. Here was another one where we did this, right? Where we were like, we were holding this. I don't like this. I don't like this. They're gonna come around the corner. They're looking right here, right? They're gonna be like this. They're coming. They're gonna clear like this. They're clearing like this. So what I would do is, like, we can like peek into it like this, but like very fast. So why is this better? Why is peeking like this better than holding an angle? Do you have any idea why?
Peeker's advantage, I'm assuming.
Yeah, in this game, right, it's exactly what that means. Whoever's peeking gets to see them first, right? Like, that's just how it's coded. So, and on top of that, you can form a timing, right? So this is probably what you were going to say too. You can form a timing. So if they come around, they clear this, they're like, oh shoot, nothing here. And then they come around clearing here. Well, now we just peeked into them. We just peeked into them as they're clearing back sight. So 2 of those things, you know what I mean? That's the value that you have just peeking like this, if you do want to peek this, rather than just holding the angle. Also, one thing I noticed Exter does too is he usually throws his TP like at the start of the round, right? And then he like leans towards C. And if no sound whatsoever C at the start, then he's just gonna TP. And then, you know, that way he has fast rotations. So that's one of the power that Yoru brings, is just using your TPs for super fast rotation when you hear sound somewhere. One thing I just noticed, and you know, obviously it could be because you're nervous, but I'm just pointing it out in case you don't do it, is making plays with Yoru. Making plays where we can, like on defensive side especially, right? Like pop flashing through this. So this would be the same thing. Don't flash like, I know we did this a couple times. Don't flash like that. They turn from that, right? Again, off the ground, through the door, we peek like this, get info. We see nothing. All right. Basically, the idea is like, do we get a free kill? If the answer is no, I'm dipping. You know, I don't have to commit. I don't have to commit from the flash. If I flash someone and then they tucked right away, I'm like, oh, that's not, you know, I missed my opportunity to get the free kill and they're gone. You know, the opportunity was there. The idea is like, if we catch them walking here and we throw like a flash like this, you know, and then, you know, we see what we see, we get nothing, I'm dipping, right? The idea with pop flashes is, you know, do we get a free kill or not? If the answer is no, we just dip early, and we don't have to overcommit on a wasted flash.
Okay. But don't be afraid to waste them like that.
Exactly, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, another thing too is crosshair placement too. When we're going fast, we're running in like this, and I can only assume it's because we're looking at the map.
I love the map way too much.
Yeah, which is fine. Looking at the map is good to do, but there's sometimes where it isn't. The idea is like if we're not peeking at an angle, like if I'm here, I'm looking at the map. Now we have to look at the crosshair, right? As we're coming in and clearing. So anytime we're taking space or clearing stuff, we must look at our at the game. After we clear, boom, boom, map, right? Back to map. I'm staring at map. Okay, now I'm worried about flank. Game, map. Game, right? So when I'm peeking new angles, we look at the game, right? And then when I'm not, like this, boom, back to map. So that's when you should be looking at that kind of stuff. So, and also when we're peeking, right, peek with intent. We did it after I mentioned it, but the first time we peeked, it was like this, right? It was kind of, we weren't really ready for this, and then we tried to correct on the omen, he kills us. If we just peeked with intent, like the first time, we're just like, I'm looking for the fight, right? I see nothing, all right, whatever. Okay, this is what I mean about overcommitment. We would do this, boom, spray, and then we bring our crosshair over. Boom. So boom, spray, crosshair over. Instead of doing this where we're committing and then bringing our crosshair over, it should be like if our first shot is here, we do that, right? We don't commit to the fight. It's better to just burst and strafe and until readjust until our crosshair is on them. And then when it's on them, that's when we commit. So it's like, whoops, on them, commit. Whoops, commit. Whoops, commit. Whoops, commit. Whoops, commit. So that's when you'd want to commit. When your crosshair's on them, we full send it. If it's not on them, we keep bursting and strafing until it's on them. This is last resort where we have to spray transfer. Just remember that, because it's very easy for you to get punished this way, and it's just a lot better to just burst and strafe here. So how do we practice this, right? It's one thing to understand what we should be doing. It's another thing to actually implement it into our ranked games, okay? And that's where things get a little trickier, okay? So how a lot of things work with getting better at things is number one step, obviously understanding what's good and what's bad. Once we understand that, now it's about implementing it into our games. So we start with the basics. We go into the practice range. When it's a gun control issue, we come to the practice range and we do it with bots. Right? We're just like, all right, I'm just going to only burst and strafe. I'm going to practice whiffing and then readjusting onto my targets, right? So something like this. This way, we have like a correlation that, oh, I'm whiffing, we readjust, whiff, readjust, whiff, readjust. Okay, we have the idea down that, we're doing it in DMs, but now we're not doing it in games. Okay, so first of all, you need to be put in a position where you'd want to be bursting and strafing, all right? This is a pretty far range, 53 meters. I would almost say we're only bursting and strafing this far. Let's say I wanted to peek here, okay? Before we peek, in our mind, you should tell yourself, I am not committing to this gunfight. I am going to burst and strafe no matter what. And when you come around the corner, you know exactly how you're going to handle the gunfight. You have to tell yourself before, though. And then we peek. Now we peek. We know how we're going to handle this gunfight. We've told ourselves. It's in our brain now. And we come around the corner with a plan. The enemy team doesn't have one, and we're going to have the edge on them. So this sort of thinking, this line of thinking, will get us into a point where after we do this 3 or 4 times, it becomes second nature. We don't have to think about this anymore, right? We come around the corner. Oh, I know exactly how I'm handling this gunfight, right? I've done this so many times. I know how I'm going to handle it. Same with this. I'm holding this angle, or I'm like peeking around here. I'm like, oh, if someone's here, I'm going to burst and strafe, right? So it's like these little mental notes that you need to make to yourself, and you know how you're going to handle it because of it. And after you get the kill, you're like, oh my God, it worked. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things that like you just have to make a mental note before you do it. You can't rely on doing it as a habit because it's not a habit yet, right? To make something a habit, you have to actively think it into existence a couple times, and then after that it becomes a habit. It's just about like understanding what our problems are and then just adapting based off of that and how to adapt and how to improve it, right?
Do what I need to work on now, so hopefully it's in.
Let's go. That'd be sick, dude. Honestly, please keep me posted. Please keep me posted how the journey goes, because gold to diamond in such a short amount of time is insane. So eventually, yeah, you'll get ascended, immortal. I'd love to see that. If you're interested in coaching yourself, click the link in the description, click the book a lesson button, and select your plan and time. So if you want to win free coaching, be sure to comment down below your Discord name without the hashtag and what you learned from the video. I'll be picking out a person randomly.